Hello everyone, this is Professor Yu. I know this introduction is a little bit late, but I want to just provide an audio-visual companion to the syllabus that I uploaded last week. So if you haven't already, you can review the syllabus. Nothing major has been due so far, but next week your first assignment will be due. So I'm going to go over a few concepts with you before that due date. This is Comms 100. I have Wednesdays from 9 to 10. I will have my, I guess you can call it office hours. So you can email me in advance if you want a separate time or to just communicate online. We can do that as well. But I will be available from 9 to 10 by request. So the textbook for this class this semester is called The Art of Public Speaking by Stephen Lucas. You can find the PDF for that textbook online in Canvas currently. So this course will cover the concepts of effective public speaking through lectures, discussions, peer speech evaluations, speech presentations. You should be able to identify and apply the most effective practices to speak publicly in the future. All right, so we just have a few assignments in this class, and I really try to take it easy. What's most important to me is that you are practicing the concepts and reviewing the speeches of your classmates so that you can see what works and what doesn't. So the first speech that's going to be due a week from today is the introductory speech and outline. So this is only 50 points. This is a very minuscule part of your grades, 5%. The demonstration speech is 100 points, so that's 10%. The informative speech is 150 points, so that's 15%. And the final speech, which is your final assignment, is the persuasive speech, and that's 200 points. Your peer feedback for each speech, which is your opportunity to just post in the discussion forum your feelings about the speech that you saw, that is going to be worth 25 points per submission. So what you're going to do is upload your speech online into the discussion forum that's designated for that speech. And then you're going to look at your classmates' speech, watch them, review them, tell us what the strengths of the speeches were, what the weaknesses are, and I'm going to guide you through this throughout the semester, and you're going to get better and better at it. And that post is going to be worth 25 points. And then after all the speeches are done, the following week, I want you to do an essay speech review. So you're going to write a 5-paragraph essay with an introduction, body, and conclusion. And the body will have 3 parts. In the body, I want you to select 3 of your favorite speeches or 3 speeches that you remember the most, and just describe what the strengths and weaknesses of the speeches were and why you thought it was a good speech or why you thought it was a speech that needed a lot more effort or a lot more components kind of fleshed out in the speech. So you're going to have weekly discussion posts. So last week is going to be a free-for-all. Everyone's going to get their full credit because I understand that we're still working things out. I still have a lot of students adding into the class. So each week, you're going to post your answer to a question that I pose, and then you're going to go ahead and respond to 2 of your classmates. So we're going to go over that now. Like I said before, you have 4 formal speeches, and the speeches become consecutively more challenging and worth more. So you want to spend your time practicing. This week, your introductory speech is going to be very easy. I'm going to make another video explaining to you how to do it and showing you an example of the outline. And I will also upload the outline. I think it's already uploaded for your future use. But you want to choose an artifact of your choice, something that represents you. When I say artifact, it doesn't have to be ethnic or cult or religious. It can just be something that's important to you, something that represents you well. And you're going to just tell the class about yourself using the item. So if you want to choose a microphone, tell us why the microphone works. If you want to use, like, I've had someone bring in ballet shoes, I've had people bring in aprons, I've had people bring in basketballs. You don't have to do something elaborate. Don't choose 2 items. Just choose one thing that you said, this is a good representation of who I am, and you're going to tell us why. So remember, the speech should focus more on you and your personality and your attributes and less on the actual item itself. If you choose a basketball, I want to hear you talk about how basketball has made you resilient, it's made you value exercise, it's made you more social. Like maybe you were kind of an introvert and joining the basketball team made you better at communicating with your peers. And so now you have more friends and you're more confident. So you're going to tell us about yourself using the assignment. The other 3 speeches, I'll give you more information on how to go about setting those up as we get closer to that date. But right now you want to focus on the introductory speech. All right, so like I said, peer-to-peer feedback is after someone submits their speech in the forum, I want you to just give them a bit of immediate feedback. This is not going to be graded too difficultly, but you have to do it. So after all the speeches are submitted, you must give feedback to at least 2 of your classmates. Comment on your impression of the speech, their verbal and nonverbal strategies, and the strengths and weaknesses of the presentation. So each feedback must be a minimum of 8 sentences. So you must do 2 submissions with 8 sentences, and it's due on Wednesdays. So your speech is going to be due next Sunday. I want to see your feedback posted by Wednesday. So speech reviews. Speech reviews are, like I said, that is a formal assignment. It must be typed. It must be uploaded into the assignment section where you are just giving us feedback for 3 different students. And yes, you are allowed to reference your peer-to-peer feedback if it still applies to you. If you thought about it and decided you want to do something else, if you decide that you want to focus on a speech you actually didn't like, you can focus on speeches that you already gave feedback to, or you can focus on speeches that you haven't given feedback to, but you must do a minimum of 3. So even if you choose speeches that you did peer-to-peer feedback on, you're going to have to choose at least one that you didn't give a review on. All right, so read the directions for that assignment carefully. And like I said, you have weekly discussions and weekly readings. I will try my best to kind of summarize the chapters for you, especially in the first couple of weeks, but you are still obligated to read the chapters on your own. All right, so let me give you some of the course expectations. Assignments submitted for Comms 100 are to be developed specifically for this course and may not have been submitted for any other course. So if I find out that you're using papers from other classes and just reading off of them, that's not okay. Now, if you did an assignment in history or biology and there's a concept or a topic that you liked, you can turn that into a speech, but you cannot just take the speech or the project wholesale and then create a speech from it. I hope that makes sense. It's one thing to say, okay, I wrote a history paper on the Great Depression, and now I want to turn some elements of that paper into a formal speech using the introduction, body, and conclusion format that I've given you. You can do that. What you can do is just read your essay in class. You can't do that. All right? So in this class, a word you need to remember is extemporaneous presentation. That means that you are allowed to use notes. You are allowed to kind of reference your notes, but you should not be reading word from any transcript. Even if you see me do it, you should not be doing it. And don't try to memorize the speech, because when you try to do things from memory, you're activating a different part of your brain, and it's going to make eye contact a bit more difficult for you when you're trying to simulate an in-class experience by looking straight into your webcam and trying to communicate with your classmates, despite the fact that we're doing this online. All right? So your outlines and your speech reviews must be typed. Obviously, you're submitting online, so that shouldn't be difficult. And when you submit your speech, you must submit an outline with the speech. If you submit just the written typed outline and you don't do your presentation, you will not get any grade for that assignment. If you just submit the presentation and you don't submit an outline, you're not going to get any grade. There's no half credit. Both of those components make up the assignment. So it's very important that you do both and do it on time. I do accept late assignments, but the grade dramatically drops each day that the assignment is late. So keep that in mind. All right. So I've talked about late assignments. Plagiarism is absolutely unallowed, if not allowed. If I get any whiff of, the speech coming from some online source or you doing the exact same speech one of your classmates did, you will be penalized for that. And always save your assignments because it's important. Like, teachers make mistakes, teachers forget things, and you want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row so that if you want to challenge a grade or say that I did something and it didn't get graded, you can easily show it. All right? So last week, you guys did your introductions. You should have reviewed the syllabus as I'm reviewing with you now. You should begin reading chapter 1 and chapter 2. I'm going to do some quick presentations on that just to make sure that you guys are all on board. And so we're going to discuss your first speech this week. All right. And so that's what I'm going to get into. If you have any questions about this so far, please be sure to email me, reach out. I'm going to post the syllabus online, so you should be able to find it. And this kind of little audio is just it's just to accompany the syllabus. All right. See you guys soon. Hello, everyone. This is Professor Yu. I know this introduction is a little bit late, but I want to just provide an audio-visual companion to the syllabus that I uploaded last week. So if you haven't already, you can review the syllabus. Nothing major has been due so far, but next week, your first assignment will be due. So I'm going to go over a few concepts with you. Before that due date.